let's talk about Lady Bird. So, I thought this movie was really good, but before I get to that, I want to talk about what actually sold me into actually seeing this movie. It was this scene.
Your work ethic, just go to city college and then to jail, and then back to city college, and then maybe you'd learn to pull yourself up and not expect everybody to do everything.
I lost it the first time I saw that in a trailer. I thought, this looks hilarious, I have to see this. It was so unpredictable. Like, I thought she would just kind of yell at her mum to shut up, but no, she jumped out of the car. And yes, the movie is actually very funny at times. It's not like a full-on comedy, but I'm kind of glad it's not a full-on comedy, because there are some very touching moments and some quite emotional moments as well. But first things first, I just want to talk about the beginning, like the first frame of the movie, which is a shot of the mother and daughter. And straight away, I knew I was in for something different, because this is a story about a teenage girl and her mum. And usually, these kind of stories don't get made. It's usually about the high school kid going to school and doing your cliched stuff. So yeah, from the starting frame, I was like, hey, we're into something different. But admittedly, this movie does have those cliches, those high school movie cliches. You know, one of the worst things was the whole trying to fit in, you know, into this popular social group, and then kind of ditching her best friend for this social group, and then it doesn't work out because she lies to the popular girl about living in this like big blue house, and she actually lives in this place on the wrong side of the tracks, as she says in the movie. And so she finds out she's lying, and she's angry at her. So yeah, cliched crap. But what helps with these cliches is basically the director and actually the writer as well. This person, Greta Gerwig, she wrote and directed this movie. She basically kind of disguises these cliches, as you get these characters that you grow really close to, and they have flaws as well. Like, flaws as in, like, the main character's kind of selfish, which just helps make these characters more human and real. They're not Mary Sue's. No one's a Mary Sue in this. Just because I did say there is those cliches, there is moments with the mother and daughter which are my favourite parts of the movie. There are so many great moments with them, not just comedic, but just some very touching moments. Like, there's this good part with her and her mum. There's not even any dialogue, I don't think, but it's just because they live in a kind of run-down house. But what the mum and daughter sometimes do for fun is they actually go to houses for sale, and just, even though they can't afford it, they still go there and just have a look. And these scenes were that scene was so sweet, and I really liked it. And there's more scenes like this, like near the end of the movie where Lady Bird gets her whole, which is her whole motivation throughout the movie is to get into a college. She finally gets what she wants, and she's at this airport, and the mum's pissed at her because for a long while she never told her mum that she applied for this place. It was just a secret with her and her dad. And there's like this whole scene as well, which was very well done, where like the mum just doesn't talk to her, and she's like, I think she's like doing the laundry or something. So Lady Bird's at the airport. She's saying, you know, bye to her mum, and her mum's just like, oh, I won't come in, I'll just drop you off because parking's too dear. And mainly she means she's acting like she's pissed at her still. So she starts driving off, and that whole scene when she was in the car, that scene was so emotional. It was so great. Like, I never thought this actress was that good. She is fantastic. And also the main character as well, who plays as Lady Bird, Saoirse Ronan. Is that how you say it? She was really great. She's good as well. They're definitely the standouts. Everyone else is good, but they're the standouts. And even just like this scene where she's trying to figure out like what to wear for prom. And that was a really great scene with her and her mum. And she like asks this question to her mum, like, do you like me? And the mum's just like, of course I love you. And then she's like, but do you like me? There were so many good scenes with the mum and daughter, like, and it was so unique as well. It's such a, I haven't seen this done in a movie like this well, because a lot of teenage coming-of-age movies have those cliches, as I said before. And there's really nothing that unique about it, except for like the characters, which are really good in this as well. But the mother and daughter theme in this was so well done. I like her arc in the movie, how for the very most part, her motivation was to get out of Sacramento as much as she could. Like, even when there was this university she could have went to, and I mean, it wasn't a very good university, but the first thing she brings up is she's like, it's a half an hour drive from here. So you can kind of see that it's not just because of the school, it's just the fact that she just doesn't want to live in Sacramento. She just seems to hate it. There's like this part in the movie where she's talking to the nun, and that's a good scene where it hints at her character that she actually does like this town. Lady Bird said that she's just kind of takes notice of things. She pays attention to things in the town. So the nun says to her, isn't attention and love the same thing? So they're very different personalities, but in the end it just works so well. Like, the final scene in the movie, I thought it was so great, because once she gets into the city where she misses home, she like goes to this church, and she didn't really seem that fond of church when she was actually back at Sacramento. And then she like walks out of the church, and there's a scene where she calls her mum on a tracking device. It's actually just a phone, but she talks to her mum about, because she gets her license near the end of the movie, and she drives around Sacramento. I'm guessing it's probably her like first drive or whatever, and she found it to be so special, and she never told her mum that before she left. And then after all of this, she says one of the most impactful uses of thank you, and I think that was the last line in the movie too. She was just like, thank you, and I think she like kind of walks off frame or something, and then the movie's over. So immediately after watching the movie, the ending, I thought it was kind of like, what? Okay. But as time went on and I really thought about it, I was like, that was really good. It's like, it's emotional, it's sweet, and it wraps everything up, I think, perfectly. At least for the mother and daughter relationship, I think it wraps that up perfectly. And considering this is the first movie Greta Gerwig has written and directed, this is a solid start. So I really look forward to seeing more of her director and also hopefully writing work in other movies. This is another thing I wanted to say, is that Greta Gerwig, I found this out on IMDb, Greta Gerwig, the first time she wrote the script of this movie, it was, I think, 350 pages. Let me double check on the facts. I'll be right back. Okay, so yeah, I just double checked it. Yeah, her script, the first draft of her script was 350 pages long. And the length of this movie, if it was 350 pages, would be around 6 hours long. I guess it wouldn't be a movie. They'd probably make it into a mini TV series. But, wow. Like, how did you cut that down from 6 hours to an hour and a half? I really applaud that she was able to sacrifice so many scenes and still make such a great movie out of this. You know what? Yeah, I think I'm going to give this an 8. I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. So there you have it. There's my review of Lady Bird. I hope you enjoyed it. And, yeah, really good film. Well, great film. 8 out of 10. And, yeah. See you next time.